I think he achieved the dough. Went out, headed for the Canadian side, which fits it over there, walk out, because there's not too many.
One of them making it in the river.
And then it came back, and it went around and go down by Cargill, and it got closer, closer, closer. But finally it went around what we couldn't see. So she got down there, and then she might have walked out, but nobody came back.
Good. Extend again?
As long as he stays.
I thought maybe they were
All three of them were in our backyard.
Canadians.
So, yeah, because it was $2
Something's she was fighting the current.
That's crazy.
I tend to.
Nowadays.
A little bit lucky because they get right on the handle.
Yeah, 6 points to 4 points.
Oh, really?
6 points. It was in our backyard.
Hi, Paul.
What time of the day was that?
That was
The phone still working? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, that was about 9, 3 quarters to 10. But this one,
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. This is Monday, November 4th. If you have any business or questions for this council during these proceedings, come up to one of these microphones and give us your name and address. Tell us what's on your mind. Call the roll, please.
Cedar?
Here.
Ellery?
Here.
Kinspatter?
Here.
Koopa?
Here.
Laporte?
here.
McCartney?
Here.
Watt?
Here.
All present, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We'll go to consent agenda. Number 4A, City Council minutes of October 21st, 2019, regular and closed meetings, recommendation approved. B is the City Council minutes of October 24th, 2019 meeting, special meeting, recommendation approved. C, St. Clair Historical Commission minutes of July 11th, 2019 meeting, recommendation received. And D, Zoning Board of Appeals minutes of September 4th, 2019 meeting, recommendation received.
Motion to approve A through D as presented.
Support. All right, the motion is made and supported. Is there any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. We'll go to number 5, proclamations. Well, this is the sesquicentennial of the St. Clair Library, and we have a proclamation for said company. Whereas the City of St. Clair's first library, formed in 1869 when members of the Ladies of the Library Association began to meet in each other's home, and whereas the library joined the St. Clair County Library System in 1967, and whereas in celebration of the sesquicentennial anniversary, the St. Clair Library has hosted commemorative events throughout the year. And whereas the St. Clair Library has skilled staff members that help our citizens of all ages navigate through today's ever-expanding world of information, these specialists help to connect us to the information we need and utilize our skills to find, use, and evaluate information through resources like books, videos, and the internet. And whereas the St. Clair branch of the St. Clair County Library System will host the 150th anniversary gala in recognition of its 150 years of service on Tuesday, November 12th, 2019. Therefore, I, Bill Cedar Jr., by the authority vested in me as the mayor of the City of St. Clair, do hereby proclaim 2019 as the year of the library in our community to recognize and congratulate the St. Clair Library of their 150th anniversary. I have a proclamation. Who would like to come up and... Congratulations, and thank you. Would you like to say a few words? Sure.
Julie said I didn't have to talk, but no, we like our library. I've been a library person since I was little, going to the library, getting library books during the summer. We used to get them in the mail. We could send them back, and took library science here at St. Clair High School, and when I went to Central, and now I'm treasurer of the Friends of the Library. So we have a very active Friends of the Library group, and we work well with the library staff. We're happy with this.
You guys do a great job down there, and your online resources are great.
Oh, yeah.
Particularly your Spanish.
It's one of the most wonderful places in our community, and I don't think everybody realizes that it's a community resource for everybody.
Oh, I'm sorry, you want to come up and talk to the mic?
Oh, what, Mike?
How are you?
Oh, excuse me. I'm getting old. Hello, Mike. It's a source for everybody, children, mothers. Some people, it's the only person that says hello to them in a week, in a day. All of the librarians that work there know who everybody is. They welcome people. They know what's happening in our community. They keep on top of what's going on in the world. They answer questions. They respect everybody in our community. It's just an incredible resource that we have here in St. Clair. And thank you for this commemoration because it's a very special event. There aren't very many places that have that in their history. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and go Chips. We'll go number 6, Ports Administration. Mr. Rothy.
Yes, tonight I'd like to draw council's attention to 3 items. The first is I have started with our finance director and our treasurer meeting with all the department heads to go over budgets, both just how they're, what's in the budget, where does the revenue come from, how is the expenditures organized. Seems to me that these types of talks with the department heads haven't happened in a while, so it's been a really good exercise both for the department heads understanding what their budgets are and also for me as a new superintendent to understand, how the city's funds are organized and spent. So that's been going very well, and I still have a few more departments to go through, but that's been a significant amount of my time last week was spent in those meetings. 2 other matters, both involving the police. The first one is the police department. The officers in the police department have undertaken an initiative to purchase new rifles for themselves. The city will be, the program's modeled after one that was used in Marysville and Port Huron, and the city essentially will be purchasing the rifle up front, and then the officers will be taking payroll deductions out of their paychecks to basically pay back the cost over a 2-year period or less if the officer chooses to elect that option. We've had the contracts all reviewed by our insurance carrier. Attorney Downey has reviewed the documents too, and we are ready to move forward with purchasing those new rifles for the participating officers. I believe 5 officers are participating in this new program, and again, ultimately the cost of the equipment is borne by the officer through payroll deductions. So that is moving forward. And then the second matter involving police is this morning the arbitrator awarded the award based on the agreed settlement between the city and the union, and so just thought I'd give a quick rundown of the pension changes and other things that were in the contract. I typed up a little summary here for you to review if you wish. So the pension system is closed to new hires of the police union. They will instead be placed in a defined contribution plan, so a 401k type account. The plan will have the city pay in 8% to the employee's account, and the employee is required to contribute 4% of their base pay to the account. The existing employees with their pension benefits, 2 changes there. One being that the cost of living adjustment component, which is included in the pension plan, going forward, there will be no cost of living adjustment in their final benefit calculation. All the cost of living adjustments that they've earned prior to the issuance of this award today will remain in place. And secondly, with the pension change, before there was no cap in compensation. So if an officer's, their final average compensation, which is based off their highest 36 months of earnings, that would include overtime, unlimited overtime pay. That now is capped at $7,000 of overtime annually. That could be counted towards that pension benefit. So at the moment, there is cost savings here for the city. In terms of the exact dollar figure, that is something that the actuaries will do at their annual evaluation they do each year, so I don't have any cost numbers to share today. I think the biggest thing is, in the long run though, we are eliminating pension costs for the police union once we have no more either active employees on the pension system or retirees who are drawing pension checks from the city. So those are the big changes to the retirement award. In addition, the employees hired before today's date, the day of the award, are also eligible to participate in the 457 deferred compensation plan through MERS. The city will match an employee's contribution dollar for dollar up to 3% of the employee's base wage. And again, that's something that only is in effect to the current employees. So the account itself will be offered to all employees going forward, but there will be no city matching contribution in it. And lastly, the wage increases were effective October 1st, 2018, so this will be retroactive pay. There was a 1.5% increase, followed by a 2% increase as of this October 1st, and a 2% increase effective next October 1st, 2020. So those are the summary of the pension, the award, the arbitration award that was given out and signed this morning, and then the labor attorney is incorporating all of what I just said into the contract that'll be put together shortly. So that's all I have to report for today.
Just at the bottom, there's a typo.
Yes.
2010.
Yes, that should be 2020, not 2010.
Any questions for Mr. Rothy?
I just have a question regarding, and backing up a step or two, though. I'm fuzzy about the rifle purchase. Is that a part of their required uniform or required equipment, Chief?
They all take a rifle out every shift with them. We have 3. The newest one, excuse me, the newest one I think is 19 years old. The other 2 are 23 years old. We just got them back from an armorer. 2 of them, the upper and lower rockers are loose, so your accuracy is going to be off over 25 yards. And the issue that they brought up to me was when they come to work, they have to set that rifle up to the way they want it. You know, the flashlight needs to go on the other side, the sight needs to get adjusted, the stock needs to get moved. This way, it's theirs, it's set up the way they know it. Plus, I have 5, plus hopefully I can keep one of the 3. And if we ever, God forbid, have an active shooter, we're not sharing 3 guns. So.
I guess my question is that, I mean, why would we make them pay for it if it's something that we should consider them being part of their equipment? I mean, I'm just.
They said
just a
Marysville
question
did
for
this.
Marysville Lamport Urine did it, yeah. It's theirs. To be honest with you, they take better care of it when it's theirs. And
If they were ever to leave the department, do they take the rifle with them?
Yes.
Sarah.
Yeah.
if they, I believe the way the contract was, if they terminate before their 2 years up, they have to pay it off immediately.
Okay.
Yes.
And then if they terminate after that, they buy it back for, was it $1 or $5?
Yeah, so the 52 payroll deductions is the purchase price of the rifle except for $1. So that's kind of the way the city will be able to, it'll still remain the city's property. So at separation or termination of employment, that last $1 will ultimately be paid, and then the officer will take possession of that weapon. And I do believe it has to be inspected before it leaves, it's no longer considered the city's property for, a liability and safety reason as well.
I have no issue with them having that. I mean, I don't want that to be a misunderstanding. I'm torn between why would they pay for it and why wouldn't we pay for it, and who pays for the ammo, and is there any liability on us because it is their weapon and they have it on city time and property. I mean, all those things just pop into my head. If it's privately owned weapons, that's all.
Actually, because they hold that last $1 up, the way I understand it, it's
not their weapon.
It's the city's gun.
Yeah.
Okay, legally.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just safer for them, really.
I think that they should have everything they need. I truly do. I just question why.
Well, I was going to ask you about it. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
And it's only 5 chose. I can't make them buy a gun.
No.
5 of them chose, so I need to take probably the 2 worst off. I believe the armorer will build me a new one from parts from those.
What's the cost?
Those costs we're doing it in 2 installments. For 3 guns is $85.81, and for 2 guns is $68.46. Wow, they're expensive.
And some of the officers, though, they did choose what attachments and other equipment. So some of the price is different for each officer depending on what they order.
Okay.
I mean, you're talking about piecemealing these other guns that are going to stay here. Why don't you just put them in your budget, get some brand new ones?
Well, hopefully I can talk, it's a gentleman right up here on Range Road that builds them. Hopefully I can talk him into signing over the 2 really bad ones and him giving me a new one.
Okay.
And I have one brand new one issued for the department, and then the one that's a little less old. So.
Okay.
We just redid the handguns a year ago because they were 19, 20 years old too, so.
Well, you went with a different cal, too.
Different caliber, different make. So.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Anything else from Mr. Wolfe? All right, thank you. No, I'll save that. All right, let's go on to B. Mr. Downey, you have anything?
I have nothing this evening.
Anything from Mr. Downey? All right, let's go to C. City departments. Any city departments out there?
Yes, Your Honor. Another reminder of the special election tomorrow. Polls are open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. The ballot question is a renewal of 1 mil for city employee pension funding. And Proposal 3, approved by voters in 2018, allows for same-day registration. So on Election Day, residents can visit the local clerk's office with proper identification and proof of residency and register and receive a ballot. So there's no more deadline for registering. So if you haven't registered, don't fret. Come see me tomorrow and we'll get you taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to D. Authorities, boards, and commissions, committee chairs, council reps, anything? We have no unfinished business. We'll go to number 8, new business, approved special event permit charity block party. Chief.
I've received a request for a block party on 7th Street between Clinton and Pine to be held on November 23rd from 3 to 11. All their paperwork's in order, and I met with Chief Westrick because they want to put a tent over the road, and he doesn't have any issues. There's fire hydrants accessible from Pine and from Clinton, and the residents on that street are aware. So,
Motion to approve.
Support. The motion made, supported. Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good luck, fellows. Thanks for coming. Do you want to say anything now? You're good? All right.
Everybody's more than welcome to come on the 23rd.
Who's playing?
Good cause.
Yeah. Who's the band?
We've got 3 local bands. We've got the Gobies, we've got Brent Muro, and we've got
I'm gonna pick them up to the-
Do you want to come up to the mic, John? And you want to come up to the mic and say a few things now? Once you've started now?
So what happened was, we've been wanting to do a block party on 7th Street since I moved there, and Chris is my neighbor across the street. So we've been talking about it, and there's so many events in the town during the summertime, and we'd love to do it in the summer. There's just so many things going on, we just couldn't fit it in between all the other events. So we were talking in the fall, and there's so many fall events, so we decided to do a late one. Became later because some of the bands we couldn't get all the bands together to do it. And we knew we had a good avenue to raise some money for some families in need in our neighborhood. And so we're going to do that this year. And hopefully we can do it annually and then pick a family or another charity or something, if we can make this an annual thing, and donate to that, every year if we can do that. So that's
what time does it start?
I think we're going to start at 5 to 11. I think we want 3 to 5, somewhere in that area. So, okay.
Good. Thank you, guys. Good luck. All right, we'll go to number 9, claims and accounts, October 24th and 31st, 2019.
Here are no questions, Your Honor. I make a motion to approve as presented.
The motion is made to support. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let's go to number 10, public comment, public questions. Anybody have anything, non-agenda items to speak about? Mr. Kleeman?
Bill Clement, 1374 South Riverside. First of all, I want to say thanks for fixing the pothole on 2nd Street. And next is, a while back, I asked about sidewalks, replacement of sidewalks, and I was told the bids were being solicited and work was going to start on Clinton Avenue. Where are we standing on sidewalk replacement?
They did some on
Sure, well,
There's been some
I did
done.
state at
Pardon
a
me?
previous meeting about the sidewalk repair being halted because there was interest from St. Clair Trails about implementing part of the Bridge to Bay on Clinton. So we stopped our repair of the sidewalks because sidewalk repair might be included in that and there might be grant to fund it. So we waited. So that's where it is.
What becomes of the $10,000 that was budgeted this year for sidewalks?
I think it was actually 20, and I'm not sure where that will go.
Will that be double, will that go double it next year?
That's up to council to appropriate the funds.
Because my question is, if you didn't want to do Clinton, you could have went somewhere else. I mean,
Right.
there's a lot of bad sidewalks.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, but they're debating this trail, either Clinton, Fredmore, or Vine. So instead of putting money into somewhere that could possibly be funded elsewhere, we're waiting.
Yeah, but there's a lot of sidewalks that are not covered under the trails
Yes, there
that
are.
could have been fixed, because they're bad.
Yes, they are.
And like I said, here we go with November 1st, and we ain't done nothing, and I don't think there's enough time to do anything this year.
They did some sidewalks on Clinton.
That was the gas
Kearney.
company.
Yeah.
That was the gas company that had to do restoration for the work they did, but the city hasn't done.
Thank you.
And believe it or not, I do walk a little bit, and they're bad.
Anybody else?
Annette, do you have any idea when that decision's going to be made, when they're going to decide which route to take?
From Jim's presentation, I think they said by the end of December, there needs to be a decision on.
Yes, the Trail Commission spoke with AEW last week, and they basically gave the deadline. We need to have a trail route identified for the beginning of January in order for council to essentially approve of it in one of their December meetings.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? All right, let's go to number 11. Mayor and council, I have a couple of things. I'm going to reemphasize what Annette said. Make sure you vote tomorrow. It's a renewal of a millage for pension. It's 1 mil renewal. Polls are 7 to 8. I do want to take a minute to thank council and Ryan Fantuzzi, our labor attorney. There was a lot of hours and hard work put into that negotiating for that police contract, and I think we made some good strides this round. And last but not least, I do want to mention St. Clair High School football. They had an outstanding season. They did get beat the other night by a couple points, but they had a great season this year. Does anybody else have anything else?
I just want to thank the mayor for all of your work with the contracts, because I know you took a lot of time, and Mike Booth.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yes, city offices are closed Monday, November 11th in observance of Veterans Day.
Will trash be pushed back because of that?
I will check right now.
Most likely.
Usually. Sorry, service is a little slow down here. I'm going to say yes, and if it changes, check the website and the Facebook page, please.
All right. Mr. Laporte, you got anything else down there?
No, sir. Hearing nothing else, Honor, I make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Have a good night, everybody. Be careful.